Hey, it's Cliff, and Solo is getting more media attention. This time it's by Yahoo Finance. So I'm going to bring that up and show you what they said. Positive news once again, so I'm super excited about that. But first, I'm going to bring up the price action just to kind of gloat a little bit from what we saw last week. We're obviously looking at the 7-day chart here. We started down here at 37 cents, and this thing spiked all the way up here to 69 cents, it looks like. And we kind of averaged off around the 50s again, but we were holding strong, to be honest, around this 50 cent mark, holding pretty good. And then we just took off again. And at that point we hit 62. So in my opinion, we pretty much pumped all last week. We just kept growing and growing, and I am super excited about that. One thing I will mention, we're in Sunday right now when I'm recording this. So there is a little kind of slide down a little bit. As you can see here, it is down 3% a little bit, but we're still holding 60 cents. So pretty good. We're holding strong. And considering it's Sunday, usually Sundays, the crypto market is kind of down. It's not really until Monday we can see how the market's going to behave for the week. And even then we can't really predict anything, but we can get kind of an idea of how the market's going to go for the week from Monday. So yep, Bitcoin is down, which kind of explains why if we go back to Solo, it is down a little bit now, but still we're holding 60 cents, so I'm good. There's pretty good resistance there. But just to kind of get into what's going on with Solo, I got their Twitter here, and it was Solo's Twitter that actually posted this article by Yahoo Finance. So they say major new components are being implemented to the SOLO DEX and NFT market place, playing a significant role in the growth of both Sologenic and the XRP ledger. So got the article here. So Sologenic set to release new components: XRP ledger cross-chain bridge, Fiat ramp, and IDO Launchpad. So a lot of what they're talking about here is having a cross-chain bridge for the XRPL. So we'll kind of get into that here. It says, on January 26th, Ripple announced a strategic partnership with Allbridge, a cross-chain bridge with more than $500 million in total value locked, in order to support swap between the XRPL and multiple other blockchains. Considering the Sologenic DEX is the most popular decentralized exchange on the XRPL, the Solo team was connected with Allbridge to work on integration of these new assets onto the trading DEX. Upon integration, users will be able to swap digital assets between the XRPL and other popular blockchains such as Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Terra, Polygon, Phantom, Binance Smart Chain, CELO, Aura, Harmony, and stablecoins such as USDT, USDC, and Tether. Both teams are currently working on the integration and have estimated the bridge to be available to the public by late May. And so if we go back over to Bob Ross, he actually had a question sent to him, and it's kind of blunt, but it is a good question. So this guy says, any plans to add non-XRPL tokens? Most XRPL tokens are shit. And I am a XRP guy, but I will completely agree with this guy. Most of the XRP tokens that are out right now are kind of shit. They're not really doing anything. I mean, we have Solo, of course, that is actually going to hopefully be something. But outside of that, Core is going to be its own layer 1, so we can't really count that. And obviously we're not counting XRP. Outside of that, really, what is there? There's Songbird. People are into that. That's kind of cool. And then hopefully maybe the Flare network, if it ever takes place, that would definitely help. But for the most part, most XRPL tokens are kind of shit. So his response was, yes, the bridge is being added to the Sologenic DEX soon. The Solo and Allbridge teams are working together on the bridge to allow users to swap between digital assets between XRPL and other blockchains, which is just the ones that I mentioned before. So this spawned kind of a rumor because he says Binance Smart Chain XRPL bridge is the first one to be released shortly. So it kind of made people think, well, they're working really closely with Binance right now. It was suspected that the tier 1 exchange that they actually mentioned before that Solo was going to be the first added to is going to be Binance. Now at this point, that is not confirmed, but I mean, with the way that they're working so closely with Binance, it wouldn't really surprise me if it was Binance that Solo is going to be added to really quickly. So I guess we'll just kind of wait it out and see which exchange it's going to be. But anyway, moving on into the article, they talk about the Fiat On and Off-Ramps, which I kind of showed in my last video. I'm still kind of looking for a position in either core or solo. I was initially thinking that I wanted to get into core, but now I'm kind of changed my mind again. I think I want to get into solo, mainly because I want solo, but also because I can get the airdrops as well while I'm in solo. So I've been kind of looking for a position. I don't want to buy it while it's been pumping all week. Obviously, I think that's a bad idea. Eventually, it's going to correct, and there's going to be a better price point that I can get into. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to be testing the Fiat on and off ramp when I do that, just to kind of get an idea of how easy it is for the user to actually use something like this. But when I showed it in my video, it looked pretty simple, pretty low fees. Hopefully I won't have any complaints when I use it, but that is something that I plan to do. So moving on, they talk about the Launchpad, which is another thing I talked about in my video. It's basically like a crowdfunding spot on their DEX where they can, if you're wanting to make a token, you can kind of show like this token is going to do this, and you can crowdfund, and hopefully people like your project and they'll want to invest in it, that kind of thing. And having this Launchpad, hopefully there won't be as many shit tokens on the XRPL, because you're going to have a community of people saying, yes, this is a good idea, this is what we need, this is how we can kind of improve on the XRPL. So definitely pumped for that. They talk about a market index, and if I go back to Bob Ross's tweet here, he actually has some pictures of it, so I can bring that up. Yeah, it's just a market index where they're going to have, you know, all the projects here. You can see the new listings, top gainers, the trending projects. There's another picture here. So yeah, you can kind of bring up different trends and charts and stuff. So that's always cool. Definitely want to have everything in one place. You know, if we're going to be able to do a cross-chain, you know, a transaction, you definitely want to be able to know what's going on with all these different tokens. So, you know, it's a small improvement, but I'll take it, you know, especially if you want people to actually be using the DEX. Going on, they talk about the XLS-20 Delta and how you can convert your NFTs. That's some people are pretty pumped about that. But yeah, that's definitely coming. I've seen a lot of news from XRP guys that it's definitely on the way. But down here at the bottom, the last thing that they talk about is, in my opinion, the number one thing for solo, and that is the tokenized securities and assets and NFTs. That's the whole point of why people want solo, in my opinion. It's because you can tokenize essentially everything. And they actually have a test net that I saw on their website. So if I can get access to that, I'm going to do a video on it where you can kind of like buy these different securities. Like I could log in, use Core or Solo or whatever, buy Tesla and make that tokenized, and then you can send it to a wallet that is completely decentralized. So, that's what I'm in Solo for. I think that is a great concept, and no one else is doing it that I know of. This is the first company that is actually working on this, but just think of the use cases that could come of something like that. You know, I think it's pretty common that people want to buy stocks, but what it does is it gives you the ability to take the stock and have complete ownership of it. So one thing that I've noticed, a lot of people were into like Vanguard funds. Those were really hot like 2 years ago. The people are like, Vanguard has the lowest fees, amazing, you know, that kind of stuff. You could essentially take a Vanguard fee, put it in your wallet, and then when the fees on Vanguard go up, maybe there's another company that if you needed to do any kind of exchanging of those Vanguard stocks, you could do it with a different company because their fees are lower. So it creates more competition, in my opinion, which is going to be great for the marketplace. But not only that, it makes you more decentralized. So you actually have that ownership, which is kind of like that Bitcoin maximalist idea in a way that people in the crypto space kind of love. So I'm looking forward to that. I really hope they are getting their license. I know they're working on it, but I'd love to see an update. I'm still kind of waiting on to see where they're at with that, because that is Sologenic's bread and butter, in my opinion. that's if Solo's gonna moon, it's gonna be because of that, because no one else is doing it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that good news is still coming. It's flowing in. The price action is doing great. We were pretty much increasing price all week yesterday. So and it's kind of slow gains, and they're going to be gradual and shift up and down, but we're trending upwards. So that's really all that I could ask for. And yeah, if you guys got any comments on that, I'd really like to know. Side note for that, I was kind of trying to watch the Bitcoin 22 conference, and I don't know what is going on with Bitcoin Magazine, but they have an ad like every 2 seconds. So if you guys have a better place to watch the conference that doesn't have all of that bullshit in it, where I gotta watch an ad every 2 seconds and it just completely disrupts the experience, please let me know. That's something I'm looking for. I would love to watch this on a stream, but I'm just so annoyed with clicking those ads like every 2 seconds. So if you got something, let me know, and thank you for watching.